Hello, good morning everyone. So here I am going to discuss as you all know about your board examinations are coming soon. That will be your day after tomorrow. So here you can see I am back with the fully final revision. So in a very quick manner, I have taken here. I am going to discuss right now. So I will be back with the two parts. First, I want to take section D, which includes your textbook part. In textbook, you have to see vistas, the whole question answers part, vistas, and flamingo part. So here we are going to discuss question number 1. As you can see, read the following stanza by giving explanation with reference to context. So I have taken here most repetitive questions and most very much kind of important according to our RBSE board syllabus और जो भी आपके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा beneficial होने वाले हैं और there is a possibility definitely there is a possibility 95% पेपर जो है आपका इसी में से आने वाला है. So first we are going to discuss fisherman in the cold sea would not harm whales and the man gathering salt would look at his hurt hands. In this you have to see reference, context and explanation and you have to write in a very this kind of sequence manner. In reference what you have to include, these lines have been taken from Pablo Neruda's poem Keeping Quiet. Second, context. The poet conveys the idea that meaningful inactivity would help save both animals from human greed and humans from their own follies. इधर आप देख सकते हैं in your reference you have to mention from where these are taken from. ठीक है, कॉन्टेक्स्ट में जो पोइट आपको कन्वे करना चाहता है उसकी प्री समरी हमें वो मेंशन करनी होगी. आप इसमें वो चीज मेंशन कर सकते हैं. नेक्स्ट, कम टू द एक्सप्लेनेशन पार्ट. एक्सप्लेनेशन पार्ट में आपको वो चीज इंक्लूड करनी है जो कि पूरा का पूरा फुली जो आपकी 4 लाइंस डिस्क्राइब करनी है. The poet says that these movements of inactivity would stop fishermen from killing whales that are peaceful and harmless animals. It would also make the salt worker pause so that he can realize the harm he has done to his hands and take care of them. इधर आप देख सकते हैं पोइट ये कहना चाहता है कि ये जो मूवमेंट है इनएक्टिविटी का इट हैज बीन टेकन फ्रॉम कीपिंग क्वाइट. कीपिंग क्वाइट में व्हाट वी हैव लर्न, हमने ये पढ़ा था कि वो पूरा इनएक्टिव हो जाए, उसका जो माइंड है चलना एक बार कुछ टाइम के लिए कुछ मोमेंट के लिए स्टॉप पॉज करना है सो दैट वो आगे बढ़ सके. तो मूवमेंट जो है इनएक्टिविटी अगर करते हैं तो फिशरमैन जो है किल करता है वेल्स को जो पीसफुल और हार्मलेस एनिमल्स हैं जो हमारे को कोई नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाते हमें बट स्टिल हम उसको मारते हैं और जस्ट बिकॉज खाने के लिए ही. हेलो बेटा, व्हाट्स योर नेम? It would also make the salt worker pause so that he can realize the harm he has done to his hands and take care of them. Okay, so वो realize कर सकता है कि salt worker जो है pause कर सके ताकि वो realize कर सके उसकी harm जो भी हो रहा है, जो भी उसके hands पे बहुत ज़्यादा hurt हुआ है, घाव हुए हैं और वो अपनी take care कर सके, वो बच सके उस hurting से. And such too is the grandeur of the dooms we have imagined for the mighty dead, all lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring unto us from the heavens brink. Reference क्या कहता है? These lines are taken from the poem A Thing of Beauty from Andaman, मतलब by John Keats. Sumit Kumar. Okay, Sumit. So I'm telling you here most important questions, most repetitive questions. Just focus on it. जॉन कीट्स के थ्रू जो है अ थिंग ऑफ ब्यूटी लिखी गई है उसकी पोम से लिया गया है. कॉन्टेक्स्ट में है द पोइट इज डिस्कसिंग वेरियस थिंग्स ऑफ ब्यूटी दैट प्रोवाइड इटर्नल जॉय टू मैनकाइंड. ही लिस्ट्स natural beauties and then moves on to beautiful stories and legends that give us continuous happiness. Explanation. The poet says that the magnificent story we have imagined about great heroes and mighty dead people are also things of beauty. All the lovely tales we have heard, जो भी हमने पढ़ी है सुनी है वो आप कैसे करते हैं. जैसे एंडलेस फाउंटेन है इमॉर्टल ड्रिंक का दैट continuously pours down to us from heaven's edge ये ब्यूटीफुल लेजेंड्स और स्टोरीज जो है प्रोवाइड करी हैं एवर लास्टिंग जॉय और इंस्पिरेशन, जो कि कभी डिमिनिश नहीं हुआ, मतलब रिड्यूस नहीं हुआ इन द पावर टू डिलाइट अस, जो कि हमें वो डिलाइट कर सके, खुशी दे सके. And realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. Reference क्या कहता है? These lines have been taken from the poem My Mother at 66, composed by Kamla Das. The poetess is going to Cochin with her mother to catch a flight from the airport. On the way, she looks at her mother and feels a pain over her condition. Explanation: the poetess is sad to see her mother's old age face. She tries to divert her attention from her mother's physical condition. She looks out at the young trees rushing away past her and happy children running out of their homes. यहाँ पर आप देख सकते हैं, I have taken here 3 stanzas till now, और 3 stanzas डिफरेंट डिफरेंट फॉर्म से हैं जो कि आपको रियलाइज करा रहे हैं और आई थिंक रिव्यू करा रहे हैं, क्विक रिविजन अपन ले रहे हैं सो दैट इट विल क्लियर योर पोम्स डाउट. और क्या हमने उसमें पढ़ा था वो आपका फटाफट से क्विकली रिवाइज हो जाए. और ये मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है, मोस्ट रिपीटेटिव क्वेश्चंस भी हैं. Therefore, on every morrow we are we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence of the inhuman dearth of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and darkened ways made for our searching. Yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits. Reference: these lines are from Keats poem. Keats जो है उसमें as already mentioned है, John Keats पूरा नाम है, A Thing of Beauty. According to Keats, a beautiful thing is a permanent source of joy for us. It has a number of blessings to give us, such as a quiet shelter, a sleep with sweet dreams, and health with quiet breathing. Explanation: keeping in mind the blessings that a beautiful thing provides us, we like to find ourselves to the earth with a garland of flowers that we weave every day. We suffer from many ills, despondence, dearth of noble people, days filled with sorrow and sadness, and darkened ways are the causes of human sufferings. However, some beautiful things created by God remove the burden of sadness from our gloomy spirits. आपको ये चीज दोबारा से हिंदी मीनिंग बताने की, ट्रांसलेट करने की, देयर इज नो रिक्वायरमेंट टू ट्रांसलेट बिकॉज वी हैव ऑलरेडी डन विद इट. आप अभी फोकस कीजिए, जो लैंग्वेजेस के आंसर्स मैंने लिखे हैं, मैंने यहाँ मेंशन किए हैं, यू कैन टेक अ स्क्रीनशॉट ऑफ इट so that it will help you and you will definitely get good marks by writing these answers. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her van, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile. Reference: these lines have been taken from the poem My Mother at 66, composed by Kamla Das. Context: the poetess is going from her parents' home to the Cochin airport. She feels pain over her mother's condition and tries to divert her thoughts by looking outside the window of her car. Explanation: after the security check, she again looks at her sickly pale mother, मतलब फीकी dullness, who looked like a moon in late winter, pale and dim. She fears separation from her mother as she may not survive for long. She felt some old familiar pain and fear. It was the same as she had felt in her childhood, but she couldn't express her emotions to reassure her mother. The poetess, it is poetess, promises to meet her soon and smiles again and smile again. Fishermen in the cold sea would not harm whales. We have taken this. Perhaps the earth can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. These are the concluding lines of Pablo Neruda's poem Keeping Quiet. Context: insisting upon the need for keeping quiet for a moment and doing nothing, the poet exhorts us to learn from the earth, which seems dead in autumn but becomes full of life in spring. Explanation: the poet says that we can learn a lesson from the earth, just as the earth appears to be dead in autumn, but it is full of life in spring. We too can stop, be quiet, and still introspect and be ready for a new enterprise. In other words, we can make a new and better beginning after a short pause in our activity. Those who prepare green wars with gas You can see this extract and you can take a screenshot of it also. मोस्टली आप देख सकते हैं कीपिंग क्वाइट से सारे स्टेंजास जो है बहुत ज्यादा वर्थफुल है, बहुत ज्यादा बेनिफिशियल है और इट विल कम इन ऑप्शंस आल्सो. तो एक पोम दूसरी होगी, दूसरी एक पोम दूसरी होगी. तो यू कैन लर्न मदर एट 66 कीपिंग क्वाइट एंड अ थिंग ऑफ ब्यूटी. डेफिनेटली एक तो मैच कर ही जाना, कोई इशू नहीं. Answer the following questions. Come to the this. What things did the little friends notice in the school after an order from Berlin? That day, friends noticed the absence of the routine commotion caused by the opening and closing of desk, repeating of lesson in unison, and rapping of the teacher's ruler on the table. He saw through the window his classmates already in their places and Am Hamel walking up and down with his terrible iron ruler under his arm. Good morning, Sunil. तो आप देख सकते हैं इसमें आपको लैंग्वेजेस आपको ऑलरेडी कॉपी वर्क में है, लैंग्वेजेस आपको ऑलरेडी समझाई गई हैं. स्टिल आई एम विद द आंसर्स, सो यू कैन टेक a screenshot and you can learn the questions with answers from there. Definitely it will work. Second, it is his karam, his destiny. Who said this and why? It has been taken from Lost Spring. It is his karam, his destiny was said by Mukesh's grandmother, who had watched her own husband go blind with the dust from the polishing the glass of Bengal. She said so because she implies that God-given lineage cannot be broken. जो God ने lineage दी है वो तोड़ी नहीं जा सकती. They were born in the caste of Bengal making. वो born हुए हैं Bengal makers की caste में, so they have to make. It is their destiny to live in perpetual poverty and suffer starvation. और ये उनका भाग्य ही है कि वो इस पॉवर्टी में जो कंटिन्यू रहती है उनकी गरीबी, उसमें जन्म लिया उन्होंने और वो सफर करते हैं स्टारवेशन, भुखमरी से. हाउ डिड डगलस ओवरकम हिज फियर ऑफ वाटर? इट हैज बीन टेकन फ्रॉम डीप वाटर, chapter number 3. He decided to learn to swim with the help of an instructor. He went to a pool and practiced 5 days a week and an hour each day. He put a belt around him which was attached to a rope that passed through a pulley. He held on the end of the rope. He learned to exhale and inhale. Thus, Douglas became a swimmer. He had still some residual doubts. He swam across Warm Lake to the other shore and back. In this way, he overcame his fear of water. Next question. What made the paddler think the world of a rat trap? It has been taken from chapter number 4, the rat trap. The peddler thought that the world of a rat trap because people use a bait to trap a rat. The rat comes in the greed of the bait, ek lalach mein, and is caught in the trap. Similarly, there are many things in this world that attract a man. Those things make him greedy. Once a man falls to a temptation, he is doomed to a life of misery and repentance. Write the central idea. Bilkul, you have to practice, and all these questions are also included from your PYQs. And no need to go 2021-22. You just go 23, 24, 25 and the desk work also. बस के बाहर से कुछ भी नहीं आने वाला है. और इन क्वेश्चंस को देख लोगे तो ये क्वेश्चंस ऑलरेडी इंक्लूडेड हैं आपके PYQ से, आपकी डेस्क वर्क से, आपके संजीव रिफ्रेशर से. ऑल आर कॉम्बो पैक ऑफ देम. Write the central idea of the poem My Mother at 66. Kamala Das has presented the complex subtleties of human relationship. In this poem, she feels the pain and anxiety of her old aged mother at 66. She feels that her mother may pass away and leave her all alone. She is conscious of her duty and provides her moral support to see her very soon. Next, write the central idea of the poem Keeping Quiet. और अगर ये क्वेश्चन आ जाता है, राइट अ ब्रीफ समरी ऑफ द पोम कीपिंग क्वाइट इन योर ओन वर्ड्स. बोथ हैव सिमिलर आंसर. द पोएट emphasizes the importance of keeping quiet and doing nothing for a short duration. This will give us the opportunity to think over our activities, reassess them and correct them. This will also bring about a huge silence which will interrupt our sadness, which is born of never understanding ourselves and of endangering our lives. This will also lead to the renewal of our lives. Come to the next. In the poem, A Thing of Beauty, the poet describes some beautiful things of nature. What are they? He elaborated in his list of beautiful objects of nature. The poet has included the sun, gives warmth and light to the world, the moon with its silvery light, trees that bless us with shade and shelter, daffodils in the midst of greenery, streams with clear water. बिल्कुल ग्रामर भी पढ़ेंगे लेकिन ग्रामर होगा हमारा पार्ट 2 में दैट आई हैव टेकन फॉर टुमारो so tomorrow आपकी क्लास होगी लाइव क्लास in that we will discuss about A B C section here I am included only D section with clear water a thick mass of ferns with musk roses etc are the beautiful objects of nature that give us comfort and joy. How is the Grand Central Station a symbol of escape? Or how can you say that the third level was a medium of escape for Charlie? So Charlie's visit to the third level of Grand Central Station was a medium of escape for him. When he said that he had been to the third level, nobody believed him. Charlie की बात पे किसी ने believe ही नहीं करा था. आई हैव टोल्ड यू ना कि ग्रामर हम पढ़ाएंगे लेकिन कल हमारी क्लास होगी उसमें पार्ट 2 इंक्लूड है वहां पर हम ए बी सी सेक्शन करेंगे. इट इंक्लूड्स योर अनसीन पैसेजेस योर ग्रामर पोर्शन विच इंक्लूड्स योर कंपोजिशन पार्ट और राइटिंग सेक्शन. ओके टुमारो 9:45. This act that he was seeking refuge from reality. Charlie generally remained unhappy. Modern life was full of insecurity. Bataya beta in the morning 9:45 and fear for him. Third level was a romantic world he liked to wander into. It gave him peace and pleasure to roam. It's good afternoon, not good evening. That world of lies, fancies and dreams. How was the 100 tiger arranged for the Maharaja's tiger? Diwan had brought a tiger from the People's Park in Madras and kept hidden in his house. When the Maharaja threatened him with dire consequences, he understood that the only way to save himself was to send that tiger to the forest. So he and his wife dragged the tiger to the forest where the king hunted that tiger. Now come to the most important and most repetitive question, which you can see from the chapter number 3, Journey to the End of the Earth. Why is Antarctica the place to go to understand the Earth's present, past and future? Antarctica is a place to understand the Earth's present, past and future. Explain. Both are similar. Antarctica is the only place on the Earth that has not supported human population, so it remains almost as pure as it used to be millions of years ago. The world's geological history is trapped in Antarctica. About 90% of the Earth's total ice is stored here. There are no trees, buildings, or other human makers. Besides, 500,000-year-old carbon records lie trapped in its layer of ice. So, if we want to study the Earth's present, past, future, Antarctica is the right place to go. बिल्कुल है बेटा, बिल्कुल है. Answer any one of the following. ये भी आंसर क्वेश्चन आता है. Describe the works done by Gandhi for improving the health condition in Champaran. Repeated question है. Gandhi worked extensively to improve health condition in Champaran. He arranged for a doctor to volunteer. Hello. To volunteer for 6 months, providing basic medicines like castor oil, quinine and sulfur ointment. उस टाइम पे उनके पास medicines नहीं होती थी, तो basic चीज रखते थे castor oil, quinine और sulfur ointment. उसी से सारी बीमारियां ठीक हो जाती थी. Yes, you are a new student. What's your name? Harbhajan Singh. He noticed the poor hygiene and filthy clothing of women and asked Kasturbai to educate them about cleanliness. He also emphasized sanitation by instructing ashram residents to maintain proper latrines. Describe the efforts done by the author to conquer the fear of water. It has been taken from deep water, as we have seen. The author hired an instructor and practiced swimming 5 days a week for the month. The instructor used a belt rope system, teaching him gradually. He learned to exhale underwater and inhale above water through repeated exercises. Piece by piece, he mastered leg movements and strokes. He continued practicing alone, swimming in Lake Wentworth and Worm Lake, ultimately conquering his fear completely through persistent effort and determination. Answer the following in about 20 to 30 words. So students, इधर आप देख रहे होंगे कि most repeated question चल रहे हैं, whether it is included in your PYQs ले लें, नील देख लेना, PYQs में भी मिलेंगे आपको टेस्ट वर्क में मिलेंगे, आपके संजीव रिफ्रेशर से मिलेंगे. इसके बाहर से there is no possibility to come any kind of question. आपने बस ये सारे क्वेश्चन देख लिए, then your work is done. लेकिन वो अच्छे से देखना so that you will not lose the marks. What does Am Hamel think about the French language? The last lesson. Am Hamel believes that the French is the most beautiful, clearest, and the most logical language in the world. He considers it the key to freedom for enslaved people. What is the name of the novel written by Umberto Eco? What is the reason for its huge success? The name of the novel written by Umberto Eco is the name of the rose. ये MCQ का भी क्वेश्चन है, उसमें भी आ सकता है. You can see. He deals with a period of medieval history and it is the reason for its huge success. Come to the next. Answer any one of the following question in about 60 words. How will keep quiet help create a better world? From the keeping quiet. Keeping quiet will help to create a better world by allowing introspection and understanding. It would stop violence and destructive activities. Fishermen wouldn't harm whales. Warmongers would abandon conflicts and walk peacefully with others. This moment of stillness would help us to understand ourselves better, interrupt our sadness, and stop threatening each other with death. Silent reflection would bring humanity together in peace and harmony. Okay, students? What is the central idea of the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers? From the poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers, the central idea of the poem is the contrast between oppression and freedom. Aunt Jennifer creates tigers through her needlework that are fearless, confident, and free, representing her unfulfilled desires. However, she herself lives under the oppressive weight of her marriage even after death. Her art will survive as a symbol of the freedom and strength she could never achieve in life. को यही डर था उसकी स्टोरी में. टोटली बेसिकली यही बेस था कि वो जो आंट जेनिफर के जो मिस्टर थे, मतलब अंकल उसके हस्बैंड जो थे, उनको ये प्रॉब्लम थी कि वो उसको बाउंड करके कैद करके कैप्चर करके रखना चाहते थे, विच शी डिडंट वांट टू डू. वो अपने आप को कंपेयर करती थी जस्ट लाइक वाइल्ड टाइगर्स. जो टाइगर्स जंगल में रहते हैं वो बहुत फ्रीली घूम रहे हैं, फ्रीली रोम कर रहे हैं इधर उधर, बट स्टिल आंट जेनिफर जो है वो बाउंड है to definitely with the uncle. कौन से पोम का आइडिया इंपॉर्टेंट है? एज वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस पोम नंबर 1, 2, 3 का स्पेशली. ठीक है. सोफी सच में डैनी किसी से मिली थी? बिल्कुल मिली थी. सोफी मिली थी लेकिन किसी ने बिलीव नहीं करा था बिकॉज शी वॉज अ ड्रीमिंग गर्ल ना, so nobody believes her. Answer the following questions about 20 to 30 words. List the natural things of beauty mentioned in the poem. The natural things of beauty mentioned are the sun, the moon, old and a young tree, daffodils, clear streams, and forest thickness with thickets with musk roses blooms. What was the play of the folk who had put up the roadside stand? The people who put up the roadside stand did not want charities. They wanted to earn some money from the city people. This, they thought, could improve their lot a little. They offered their produce for sale. Answer any one of the following questions. Did Dr. Sadao do his duty honestly? Explain your answer with suitability. Yes, Sadao performed his duty honestly as both a doctor and a human being. Despite the American soldier being his country's enemy during wartime, Sadao chose to save his life, though he struggled with conflicting loyalties between patriotism and humanity. He ultimately prioritized his medical ethics. He treated the prisoner with utmost care, demonstrating the compassion and professional duty transcend national boundaries and hatred. Consider next, how was the tiger killed by the 100 tiger? टाइगर किंग ने कैसे 100 टाइगर को मारा और किंग कैसे 100 टाइगर के थ्रू मरा? On the third birthday of his son, Tiger King gifted a tiny wooden tiger to his son. The toy was rough and had slivers because unskilled carpenter made it. Slivers means वो जो लकड़ी का टुकड़ा चुभ गया उसके हाथ में while playing. One of the slivers pricked the king. Though it was removed, but infection flared in Maharaja's right hand. It developed into a suppurating sword. The surgeons operated the king, but Maharaja was killed. In this manner, the 100 tiger killed him. Answer the following questions. How can the indignities of untouchability be thrown away? The indignities of untouchability can be thrown away through education, self-respect, social reform, and collective resistance. People must recognize the equal dignity of all humans, regardless of caste. For what purpose is Antarctica regarded as the ideal place for scientific study? Antarctica is a place where we can study present, past, and future of the Earth. It is pure and age-old carbon records like trapped in its layers of ice. Choose the correct option. Which newspaper was there on the platform on the third level? कौन सा newspaper था? The World. What was the name of Charlie's psychiatrist friend? Sam. How old was Derry? 14-year-old लड़का था वो. How did Mr. Lamb lose his leg? Lost in a war. What terrible warning did Zitkala Sar receive from her friend Judwin? क्या था? What terrible warning Zitkala Sar received from her friend Judwin? Cutting off the hair, definitely. Why did Zitkala Sar feel humiliated during the cutting of her long hair? Because she did not like the hairstyle they chose for her, because the hair was considered a work of cowardice among her people, because she wanted short hair like white girls, because her friends had already cut her hair. Cowardice, उनके लिए ये क्या थी? डरपोक की निशानी थी. How much money was to be paid for 50 rings? 3 lakh. Who was the head of students on ICE program? Tishani Doshi. Where was Sadav's wife born? USA. अमेरिका के थे वो दोनों. What did Gandhiji do to educate the people of Champaran? He opened 6 primary schools where teachers worked voluntarily. They taught them in a good manner about personal cleanliness and community sanitation. Next is, what was Pancake? Why did the Jamni Studios buy it in truckloads? Pancake was the brand name of the makeup material that Jamni Studios bought in truckloads. Pancake was bought to turn the actors and the actresses ugly and to make them look real in the movie. How does the poet describe her mother? The poet makes use of very apt similes. Her mother's face is ashen like that of a cock. She is as sickly and pale as a late winter's moon. Why is uncle's wedding bond massive? It is a massive in the sense that it symbolizes her unhappy marriage with uncle. Ever since she got married to him, her married life has been a burden to her. What thing surprised the author most about Antarctica? India and Antarctica were once the part of same landmass. This fact surprised her most about the Antarctica because the climate of these two places is different. What was Sadav's achievement as a doctor? Sadav was a dutiful, dedicated doctor. He was a famous surgeon and expert in his art. Even the general believed that he could operate him successfully. How did Douglas satisfy himself that he had overcome his fear? Douglas learned swimming with the help of an instructor. His fear returned now and then, so he decided to swim in Lake Wentworth in New Hampshire. और ऐसे करके डिफरेंट डिफरेंट जगहों पे उसने ट्राई किया था. जितने भी यहाँ पे लेक्स और इनके नेम्स आ रहे हैं आप उनको लर्न करने पड़ेंगे. आपको उनको बिल्कुल ही दिमाग में रखना पड़ेगा अपने, so that you can be able to write in the examination. Okay. Come to the next. What idea do you form about Sophie's personality? Sophie is a young school-going girl. She belongs to a lower middle-class family. She often imagines a glamorous life and dreams of meeting famous people like Danny Casey. She concocts a story of her meeting with Danny. She is a knave and struggles to see the difference between reality and fantasy. Her family finds her dreams unrealistic और उसकी फैमिली को ये ड्रीम्स जो है अनरियल लगते हैं कि जो तुम देख रही हो रियलिटी वो नहीं है डेफिनेटली वो तुम देख रही हो बट दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल इन अ रियल लाइफ what made the paddler accept Edla Williamson's invitation? Williamson had a sympathizing look, friendly manners, and an assurance to go away unharmingly as and when he would like. This made the paddler accept Edla Williamson's invitation. Why do the most celebrity writers despise being viewed? Most celebrity writers feel that interviews victimize them. For them, interviews are an unwarranted intrusion into the privacy of their lives. They somehow diminish them. It is immoral. It is a crime. Answer the following questions. Write the central idea of the poem, Keeping Quiet. We have discussed why is grandeur associated with the mighty dad. Look, ये पिछले 3 साल से कंटिन्यू आ रहा है फिर उससे पहले एक बार नहीं आया था 21 में आया था सो इट इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन बेटा कौन सा लेस इंपॉर्टेंट है ये कौन सा क्वेश्चन है सुनील ऑल आर इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस ना In A Thing of Beauty, John Keats associates grandeur with the mighty dad to emphasize the lasting impact of great individuals. Their beauty, nobility, and achievements continue to inspire and elevate humanity even after their death. The mighty dead are revered for their enduring influence, symbolizing eternal beauty and grandeur beyond physical. What is the childish longing that the poet refers to? The childish longing referred to by the poet is that all the rural people should be put to death. This according to the it's according to the poet will give them freedom from their suffering. What idea do you form about the poetess as a daughter? The poetess proves to be a loving, caring, and devoted daughter. Her worries and fears about her mother's condition prove this. So, character sketch of Dr. Sadao. Sadao was the only son of his parents. He was sent to study surgery and medicines to America. What is HBSC? He was a very famous doctor. The general had a deep faith in him. He also ignored the crime of Sadao when Japan and America were at war. He helped the prisoner of war. He considered that the duty of a doctor is beyond the borders. Look, ये जो दोनों books है ना, ये टेक्स्ट बुक का पार्ट है जो सीबीएसई आरबीएसई दोनों के लिए है. I don't understand what you want to with HBSC. Okay. What do you infer from Sam's letter to Charlie? Sam's letter to Charlie reflects Charlie's longing for an escape from modern stress. It symbolizes his imagination blending reality and fantasy, affirming his belief in the third level. What is that draws Derry towards Mr. Lamb? हरियाणा बोर्ड नहीं है बेटा ये. Derry is drawn to Mr. Lamb because Mr. Lamb's word of encouragement and acceptance helped Derry to realize his physical strength and the importance of emotional well-being. Why did Gandhi agree to a settlement of 25% refund to the farmers? Gandhi agreed to the settlement of 25% refund to the farmers because for him the amount of money was not as important as the token victory of the peasant. As we have already discussed in class also कि उसके लिए मैटर नहीं करता पैसा कितना कम आया क्या आया लेकिन वो उन्होंने जब एडजस्ट किया उन लोगों ने कंट्रीब्यूट करने के बाद उन लोगों ने जो टर्म्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट करी थी उसकी वजह से आज तक कभी पैसा नहीं मिला था लेकिन आज जब उनको पैसा मिल रहा है 25% कम ही मिल रहा है लेकिन गांधी जी का मैटर ये था इट इज नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट कि हाउ वी आर गेटिंग मैटर इज दैट वी आर गेटिंग समथिंग ओके What is the kind of pain and ache that the poet feels? The poet is pained to see her mother's death pale face. She suffers from a childhood fear of losing her mother. What are the three features of Antarctica region? Antarctica was part of a continent before 650 million years and it was called Gondwana. Do not forget. ये आपके MCQ में भी आ सकता है. Then the supercontinent disintegrated into many parts. It is the place where 90% of the Earth's total ice volume are stored. Scientists can study here about environment change and what may be the results of all these. This place lacks biodiversity. We can see from midges and mites to blue whales and icebergs. Okay. Who was Mr. Lamb? How does Derry get into his garden? Mr. Lamb was an old man. He lived alone in a big house. He had a garden. Derry gets into his garden by climbing up of the boundary wall. Why were the Indian sharecroppers compelled to plant indigo? Britishers owned large estate. They compelled peasants to plant 15% of their holdings with indigo and surrender the entire harvest as rent. Why was there a large crowd in front of the bulletin board? There was a large crowd in front of the bulletin board to read the latest news. The news was that they were to study only German in their schools. What did the roadside stand plead for? That outside stand, roadside stand को outside stand pleaded to the city dwellers to stop and buy their wares so as to enable them to earn some extra money for a decent living. The poem A Thing of Beauty brings out Keats' love for nature. How? This life of ours is not a bed of roses. We suffer from many ills. We find a scarcity of mean of noble, benevolent nature in the world. Sometimes we have to go through physical and mental suffering. Loss of health and disappointments caused by failures also make our life difficult. However, the joy provided by the beautiful objects of nature and may lift the pall of sadness. What does the third level in the Grand Central Station refer to? At the third level of Grand Central Station, Charlie witnessed the past. The information booth was of old style and was made of wood. The man and woman were wearing long coat and hat. There were open flame gas lights. People bore the look of 1890 something. They had beards and fancy moustaches. Charlie saw the newspaper The World. It was printed on 11 June 1984. This confirmed that the Charlie was in the year of 1894. और यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं वापस से confirmation ले सकते हैं कि I have asked in MCQ कि which what is the name of the newspaper. तो यहाँ आ गया The World. Why does Derry say people are afraid of men, are afraid of me? One side of Derry's face is burnt, so he thinks people avoid him. He thinks that nobody likes his company or loves him, so he says that people are afraid of him. Mention the hazards of working in the glass Bengal industry. Working in the glass Bengal industry, as shown in Lost Spring, poses serious hazards. Children suffer from eye damage, skin burns, respiratory issues due to glass dust, and risk of blindness from poor lighting. The oppressive working conditions and lack of protective gear. Why has the mother been compared to the late winter's moon? The poet's mother looked like the winter's moon, pale, wan, sickly. Moreover, winter is a symbol of old age also. The mother too is old and weak, hence the comparison is apt. वो comparison जो हो रहा है वो justify हो जाता है. Apt means होता है हाँ ये proof हो गया, ये justify हो गया. इस आंसर का justification मिल गया कि उसने पूछा था कि यहाँ पर जो है पोइट की मदर जो है विंटर पेल हो रही है, बहुत ओल्ड हो रही है, तो कंपैरिजन जो था मदर जैसे लुक देख रही है और विंटर जो है उनका सिंबल रहा है, तो कैसा है, हाँ वो जस्टिफाई हो रहा है. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट इज हाउ कैन यू से दैट Hannah was a dutiful wife? Hannah and Sadao met in America at the house of a professor. They loved each other very much. When she saw that the man was close to death, she did what her husband asked her to do. She also risked her own life. She did not care that she was washing the wounds of her enemy. Thus, we can say that she was a dutiful wife. उसने ये नहीं देखा कि किस तरीके से मेरे हस्बैंड जो है वॉश कर रहे हैं, मैं उनकी कैसे हेल्प करूँ. उसने सिर्फ ये देखा कि मेरे हस्बैंड परेशान हो रहे हैं, उनको अपनी ड्यूटी फुलफिल करनी है, तो वाई डोंट आई हेल्प हिम. इसीलिए उसने उसकी हेल्प करी और उसके इवन वूंड्स जो घाव थे बहुत जख्मी हालत में थी, बहुत हील हुए हुए थे, तो उसने क्या करा, वॉश करने में उसकी हेल्प करी. दैट्स व्हाई शी हैज बीन द नेम कॉल्ड ब्यूटीफुल वाइफ. she became a dutiful wife. Who was the Tiger King? Why did he get that name? The Maharaja of Pratibandpuram is the Tiger King at the time of his birth. Royal astrologer predicted his death by a tiger. On growing up, he hunts 99 tigers. For killing so many tigers, he gets this name. So इतना करने के बाद उसको उसका नाम मिला क्योंकि वो उसने 100 टाइगर्स को मारने का एक शपथ एक प्लाज किया था, प्रण लिए थे, वो थे उसका। तो उस वो को फुलफिल करने के लिए उसने ये चीज की और इसी वजह से उसने 100 टाइगर्स को मारा। और 100 टाइगर्स को नहीं, उसने 99 टाइगर्स को मारा और दैट्स व्हाई ही गॉट दिस टाइगर किंग नेम। ये सारे उसने टाइगर्स को ही मारा था। Describe the role of Subbu in Jamini Studios. Subbu had a multifaceted personality. He was highly talented. He was loyal to his boss. He had turned all his creativity to his boss' advantage. He performed subsidiary role in films. Subbu was the number 2 at Jamini Studios. He gave direction and definition to Jamini Studios in its golden years. He was a poet, novelist, and an actor rolled into one in Jamini Studios. Is there any problem in ये आ सकता है discuss the role of Subbu या give the character sketch of Subbu, then you have to write the answer. Why do you think Gandhiji considers the Champaran episode to be a turning point in his life? Most important and most repeated question है. Champaran episode showed him that the people of India could win freedom for themselves by following truth and non-violence. Gandhiji and his way of working had succeeded. He declared that the British could not order him about his own country. He had every right to say his problem. He, with the help of other people, could win the battle against the oppressors. So it was a टर्निंग पॉइंट इन हिज लाइफ। वो एक ऑपरेसर, एक प्रताड़ित के लिए एक नया था क्योंकि पीजेंट्स जो फार्मर्स थे वो बहुत ज्यादा परेशान हो रहे थे। सो दे टुक द हेल्प ऑफ गांधी जी। How did Douglas overcome his fear of water? As we have already discussed, how he overcame with his fear of water. Why did friends not want to go to school that day? Friends did not want to go to school that day because his teacher had asked to prepare a lesson on participles, but he knew nothing about them. लेकिन वो उसके बारे में नहीं जानता था। What lesson can the earth give us? The earth teaches us that in activity and silence do not means death. Rather, it enables rejuvenation and introspection. उसने क्या करा? या तो दोबारा से rejuvenate मतलब rejoin करो और इंट्रोस्पेक्ट मतलब उस एक्टिविटी में हम क्या करें, इन्वॉल्व हों। इन्वॉल्व होने का मतलब वी हैव टू मेक अ पॉज ऑन इट। नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट चेंजेस डज मिस्टर लैम ब्रिंग इनटू डैरीज एटीट्यूड टुवर्ड्स हिज लाइफ? मिस्टर लैम persuades him to live a happy and cheerful life. Derry's face was burned due to acid. He remains isolated. उसको पसंद नहीं था मेरा फेस जला हुआ है तो लोग क्या कहेंगे, लोग क्या सोचेंगे। That's why he remains isolated and never try, कभी ट्राई नहीं किया पीपल के साथ मिक्स होने के लिए। मिस्टर लाम ने बताया डेरी को कि ही शुड नॉट माइंड व्हाट द पीपल से, तुम्हें सब बुरा मानने की जरूरत नहीं, लोग क्या कहेंगे। डेरी को फेस करना है ये लाइफ बोल्डली और बोल्ड होके करो। वट एवर गॉड हैज मेड इज इक्वल, वन मस्ट हैव ब्यूटी इन द आईज। जो भी गॉड ने बनाया है वो इक्वल है और एक बार तुम्हें उस ब्यूटी को देखना चाहिए। डिस्क्राइब अबाउट सीमापुरी। Simapuri is situated on the periphery of Delhi. About 10,000 rag pickers live here in the structure of mud with roofs, tin and tarpaulin. They do not have sewage, drainage or running water. Although they have no identity, they have ration cards and have their names in voters list. Children grow up in these small structures and the children help their parents in their survival. Rag picking is the only way for survival in Simapur. ये क्वेश्चन मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है और ये 20 में भी आया है, 22 में भी आया है, 21 में भी आया है, 23 में भी आया है। Write the theme of the lesson, the red trap. The story, the red trap, deals with the human tendency to redeem oneself from dishonest ways. The paddler is a poor man. He sells red traps. Poverty compels him to adopt dishonest way. No one cares for his feelings. He is nowhere welcome. These factors change him into a dishonest person, but Edla treats him well. He had earlier stolen from the crofter's house. Come to the next. Answer the following questions in about 20 to 30 words. आप इसमें देख सकते हैं. What is the misadventure the writer William Douglas speaks about? Douglas goes to the swimming pool when no one else is there. He sits there waiting for someone to come अ स्टाउटली बिल्ट बॉय मतलब कि जो बहुत ज्यादा पतला सा दुबला सा था, वो आता है वहां पे और थ्रो करता है इनटू इन डीप वाटर. दिस इज द मिस एडवेंचर डगलस स्पीक्स अबाउट इन विच ही नैरोली एस्केप्स डेथ. The next is, or the last question is, who was Rajkumar Shukla? Rajkumar Shukla कौन था? Rajkumar Shukla was an illiterate poor peasant from Champaran. He came to see Gandhi to get help in the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar. He looked like any other person in India, poor and enunciated. ठीक है? So these questions are, अगर आप यही answers उसमें लिख कर आते हैं, examiner will ask, then you will get definitely very good marks in it. और इसके बाहर से कुछ नहीं आएगा, दैट आई विल गारंटी यू. थैंक यू, ऑल द वेरी बेस्ट. कल हम मिलते हैं अपने ग्रामर पोर्शन के साथ में, अपने ABC पोर्शन के साथ में, और वो टेक्स्ट बुक नहीं होगा, ग्रामर पोर्शन होगा. थैंक यू.